Welcome to Learning House. Today we're talking about the GRE. What is the GRE? Who needs to take it? Why is it important? The GRE stands for Graduate Record Examination for students who are entering graduate level programs. So these are master's and PhD programs. Many schools in the United States and in Canada are really wanting to make sure that candidates are ready. They have a certain level of analytical skills that they can enter the graduate level program with ease. The score that you need will depend on the school that you are applying to. Some schools are more selective. Some schools require higher scores. They are not looking at just your GRE scores. They're looking at your transcripts, if you have work experience, if you've done research, if you've published academic papers. Some programs, especially really selective PhD programs, there will be an interview involved. And then, of course, your essay or your personal statement, where it's really an opportunity for you to talk more about who you are, what you're trying to do, what you're going to provide this program, and why they should choose you. Do research before you start so you can figure out exactly what you need to apply and get into the program of your choice. What parts of the GRE is this program concerned with? Do they care if you take the exam multiple times? And also, it's going to help you plan so you can meet any application deadlines. This is what the GRE is about. How is it scored? So it's a percentile. 150 score is around the 43rd percentile. That means that if you score 150, you're better than 43 out of every 100. The average is 152. The essay, it's from 0 to 6. Research your school. Some schools care, others, it's just a formality. Knowing that before you go in will help you prepare. The test format is somewhat brutal, almost 4 hours. It's like we're planning to run a marathon. We're not going to go out tomorrow and run 20 miles. That's going to be tough. We have to build up slowly. And we are thinking, all right, if we're going to run the marathon in November, how can we start preparing now? The essays come first, followed by the multiple choice questions. Only 4 will count. One is an experimental section, which the test examiners will use to develop further questions. Do your best on all because you don't know which one is that. You don't want to say, oh, I know this is the research one. This one doesn't count, so I'm just going to go through it quick. Don't do that. Between the sections, there is a short break. And depending on if you're doing the computer test or the paper-based test, there is a longer break where you'll have 10 minutes to refresh. In the quant reasoning section, so this section measures your ability to read and reason, and there are some basic skills that you'll need: number properties, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, data analysis. If you're not using math and reasoning skills regularly, taking a course or running through a test prep book on your own time can help. Now, with verbal reasoning, where's your vocabulary? Are you able to analyze information and think critically about what's in front of you? Text completion, sentence equivalence, and reading comprehension. You can schedule the test yourself online. You get your score immediately. You can decide to cancel in that moment if you think, wow, this is not at all what I thought, but the decision is permanent. It's definitely an investment. It's an investment of money and time. Some people are great at reading comprehension. Some people can ace the quant section. Vocabulary can be difficult to manage, but you can also turn it into a game. Read as much as possible. When you're reading, you're engaged in a story. And if there's a word that's new or unfamiliar, look it up, find a synonym, and assimilate it into that story, into what you already know. When you create flashcards, it's not just a matter of writing the word on one side, the definition on the other, but use colors. This can help you remember more difficult words and also make mental associations. With flashcards, you can put them up around your house. The other tip that I have for you is review grammar rules. I've listed on the screen words that indicate agreement. It's almost like when you're driving, stop signs. So these words represent the green light. You stay straight, the road continues, there's no turning or detour. These words indicate that whatever idea was already established, the next idea is building on that. I won the lottery, and whatever you decide to fill this in with has to do with that first part that's already been written. So you won the lottery, and I celebrated with friends. I won the lottery, and I decided to give all my money away to a cause that's important to me. The ideas are connected. You're staying on that straight line because because I won the lottery, I bought my parents a house. Because I won the lottery, I quit my job. The ideas are related and you're staying on the same road. There's no turn. Now look at here. These words indicate a contrast or some sort of opposition. So I like to explain this as here's your road sign telling you to turn. We were going straight and now we're making an adjustment. When you're analyzing sentences, analyzing reading, if we see this but, the second part is more important than the first. I won the lottery, but I lost my ticket. So I lost my ticket or I lost my receipt is more important than that first bit of I won the lottery, although I won the lottery. So we know that something is going to happen that's in contrast or opposition of winning the lottery should be a joyful experience. Something is happening next that makes it not so joyful. I lost my dog on the same day. Whatever tragic event happens. I'm laughing, but that's sad. Crack the system. Think like a test maker. First, you go through and you answer all the questions that are easy to you. This is like going through and selecting the low-hanging fruit. Then you're going to mark which questions you're going to return to. Remember, there's no penalty here for wrong guesses, so you can use process of elimination to make sure no questions are empty. We're really trying to get as many points as possible. Dressing in layers is helpful because if it's cold, then you have what you need. You'll need a government-issued ID. And the other point that I like to tell people preparing for tests is put on your game face. Like you're going in and you want to do your best. So when you show up, when you look good, you feel good, you do well, that is how you approach a test. The GRE is difficult, but it's not impossible. And if you have academic and career goals that include master's and PhD programs, this is probably something that you're going to have to do. So make a plan, figure out your calendar, how long do you need to study, and good luck.